Hey guys, East from FGC Academy here. Recently, Capcom released the Season 2 patch notes for Street Fighter V, which details all of the buffs and nerfs to the entire cast as well as changes to the game system. If you haven't seen that yet, it could be kind of difficult to sift through. It's a 92-page PDF file, and a lot of people are kind of scratching their heads at what do some of these changes mean. So what we've gone and done is we've taken a look at the change notes ourselves, and we've compiled a list of the more influential buffs and nerfs to each character as well as big changes to the system. So we'll be going through those and showing you some of the things that you should probably be looking out for going into Season 2. While we won't be covering every single buff and nerf for the characters, we will be talking about the ones that are probably more important and we'll see bigger changes in gameplay as a result of them. So let's hop into the mix. So first up is Street Fighter's poster boy Ryu. Don't let the tears here feel like they're indicative of the changes he got. Ryu actually escaped through the Season 2 patch pretty well off, I think. So first up are some of his buffs. His back heavy kick is now cancelable on first or second hit. I think this is a change you'll see if you take a look at the other things that we have listed here. He's going to be able to take advantage of a lot more combo opportunities, which is nice. That means that Ryu mains will overall be seeing their average damage output going up, which is not a bad thing at all. To kind of help with that, all of his normals are now overall more positive on hit. Things like stand medium punch being +7, and I mean even in Season 1 you could trip over the stand medium punch combos and get them. Now they're even easier to do. He can also do some new links now, which should open up some new combo opportunities. And next, his EX Hadouken is now +2 on block, which is a nice change. I believe in Season 1 it was -2, so even if you spent the meter to throw an EX Fireball, you didn't get to continue advantage, or excuse me, continue pressuring. Now Ryu does get that, so I guess using EX Fireballs up close has more use now. And finally, the biggest buff that came out of Ryu was the fact that he gets double the amount of V gauge on a successful parry that he did in Season 1. Back in Season 1 he got about 25, which is I think 6 of those filled up a bar. Now he gets 50, so I think about maybe 3 or 4 fill up a bar? I could be flipping those numbers a bit. You'll have to double check me in the comments below. But yeah, so I mean we should be seeing Ryu dishing out more damage. If you're willing to commit to the parry, you should be getting and rewarded with V-trigger more often, which is certainly a good thing. Let's take a look at some of his nerfs. You know, it really feels like they buffed the normals overall on damage, but to kind of scale that back, they reduced the damage and they nerfed the damage on things like Tatsu and Shoryuken. Tatsu and DPs saw pretty much across the board damage reductions of at least about 10. The only exception there is Light Kick Tatsu, which got a 10 damage buff, or 10 HP damage buff. So yeah, you can expect your special moves to be dealing arguably less damage. I think with the exception of EX moves, they are weaker overall. Also, some of his normals, mostly the normals that he would use to play footsies, have been slowed down. And while this might seem like a big change, it feels like it's a change of maybe the overall cast. A lot of characters got their footsie tools slowed down. This might be because Capcom felt people weren't able to whiff punish better, or excuse me, weren't able to whiff punish in Season 1. Hopefully these changes are to address that. So yeah, moves like crouch medium punch, crouch medium kick, and crouch heavy kick overall became at least 1 frame slower. And also, like talking again on the ability to whiff punish, Ryu as well as a lot of other characters have bigger hurt boxes on their normal recoveries. So, you know, those moves you're going to be playing footsies with, crouch medium kick, the hitboxes, or excuse me, the hurt boxes will be staying out there a little bit longer. So you can expect to be getting whiff punish if you're just throwing out moves mindlessly. So yeah, overall, Ryu got away pretty well. You can expect him to be dealing out more damage. You can expect him to be keeping advantage when you burn meter, which is a good thing. But his moves will be a little bit slower. That might not be a big change considering everyone's moves are a little bit slower. And his special moves saw a bit of a reduction, which is kind of a balance to the buff on normal. So overall, Ryu will probably feel just about the same, but with a few more combo opportunities and a little bit higher damage output on average. So next up, let's take a look at Chun-Li. Looking at Chun-Li, who is arguably the strongest character in Season 1, she is not going to transition to Season 2 well. I mean, as you can already see here, I am really stretching to find buffs for her. The first one I have here, the Crouching Light Punch, got a 10 damage increase, so I mean from 20 to 30 regularly and from 30 to 40 in V-Trigger, but I mean even still, it got more startup, it got one more frame of startup, so now it's a 4-frame move. Also, she can cancel her Fireball and Lightning Legs into V-Trigger, which does open up a few more combo possibilities. I guess the combos into V-Trigger will be stronger, although as I'll mention later, V-Trigger duration is actually shorter. And I mean, basically, the rest of the things she got have been nothing but nerfs. I mean, there's a one quick caveat: the V reversal did get +1 more on hit, so now she's +2 on hit, and I think that's because her Crouching Light Punch is now 4-frame startup. But anyway, looking at the nerfs, first of all, her stun was reduced by 50, so now she has 950 stun, down from 1000, which has kind of been a change from Capcom in the past. Usually female characters had lower stun and health. Next, her stand heavy punch, which a lot of people had problems dealing with in Season 1, has now more recovery. Before it was -3 in and outside of V-Trigger, I believe. In V-Trigger, I could be wrong. Please check that in the comments below. But outside of V-Trigger now, her stand heavy punch is -5 on block. So you can expect that move to be abused a little bit less. You should be able to help or be able to punish that move or to stop the pressure from that move a little bit more often. Next, Air Lightning Legs, which was the bane of a lot of players in the beginning of the season, but maybe not so much at the end, were weakened overall. And man, this move, whew, caught a ton of nerfs. So first of all, the damage is less. She has 10 less damage on the airborne legs. The startup is slower for for every version, excuse me. And now she's at less advantage on hit. So before she was +4, so she could combo after a successful Air Lightning Legs. Now she's +3, and because her Crouching Light Punch was slowed down, combos might be a little bit more difficult. Also, it is now -2 on block, so if you successfully block it, she loses frame advantage and she cannot continue pressure unless she does an EX reversal. Yeah, so I mean, even it feels like the space at which the Lightning Legs also hit are higher. So I watched a video of I can't remember the person who did it, but I watched a video where someone did her Air Lightning Legs on a crouching character and it completely whiffed on them. So this move is going to be significantly less useful than it was in Season 1. Next up, her Fireball has slightly slower startup. I think each one was given about 3 frames of increased startup. In Season 1, her Fireballs were really hard to get around, especially combined with her Standing Heavy Punch. So now you should be able to react to these a bit more. And also her Standing Light Kick, which was a really good anti-air move, has been made worse. There's a bigger hurt box around the actual hitbox. And I believe that the hitbox was actually shrunken. So I really think that Capcom wants players to be using her other anti-air options. She's been a character who's known for strong footsies, but less reliable anti-airs, and I think Season 2 is really going to show that. Also, they made a change where the knockback from Stand Light Kick for an anti-air pushes the opponent back further. So in the past, she could do a Stand Light Kick and then dash up and get a left-right mix-up when the opponent recovers from the anti-air. Now she may not get that depending on where you hit them. Maybe if it's a deep jump in, she gets it, but if it's a normal jump in from mid-screen, you won't be able to continue the mix-up there. And also, to round out things, her V-trigger duration has been made shorter. A lot of people thought that she had a really strong V-trigger, especially for 2 bars, and she could get that multiple times in a round. And so now, I guess Capcom felt that maybe the timer should be short, but she'll still get it more often. And so yeah, I mean, it's hard to say that Chun-Li didn't come off overall nerfed. I mean, yeah, she gets, like Ryu, she gets more damage off of the V-trigger combos, or she gets more damage in certain situations, but the abusable tools that she had in Season 1 really just aren't there at all anymore. And so, I think people who play Chun-Li because of her strengths only are going to find it hard to continue staying with her. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought about the changes so far in the comments below. Also, let us know what characters you'd like to see next. So we are trying to get these out as soon as possible, hopefully finishing up the entire cast in about 2 or 3 weeks. So let us know who you want to see next. Thanks, take care, keep on fighting.